I haven't done a community rant video in a long time, and I feel like we need to. I feel like we need to talk about the community. Because it's been a while since I've done it. A lot of the videos that tend to pop off on this channel tend to be the community rant videos because I think a lot of y'all just love negativity. Being honest with you, y'all prefer negativity over positivity. And it is what it is. That's just basic life. When the news does their thing, it's the negative news stories that get all the views, not the positive news stories. And also just a very, very toxic community who freaking loves being toxic and love freaking being angry about stuff. So that kind of feeds into the fact that y'all love the idea of just pure negative nonsense. But today's community discussion video is more so about what I saw. I've never watched the pen test before, so I'm watching him today because I was up early, was bored. I saw something that like caught my eye. He's having like a conversation about like the state of the game and pricing and things like that. And there was one thing that I saw where I was like, this right here is exactly the problem with this community. And so this is a comment that I saw. EA needs to find a way to allow SBCs to be completed via monetary or time value. This is someone recommending EA allows you to spend direct money to finish an SBC. Part of the issue with why this game is in the state that it's in, why it's broken as hell, why it's, for the most part trash, is because EA knows for a fact that they can make money without putting much effort into this game. Because a lot of people who play this game don't care about the fact that they spend a lot of money on a game, and that's why EA won't make any changes. This guy's recommendation for making SBCs better is to allow people to spend money directly on SBCs. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. So imagine, right now the legacy SBC is out, it's like 1.2 million. Fodder just dropped, so it's probably a little less than that. So let's say instead of just, putting in 1 million worth of players into Futeas, instead you just spend $60 and have her done. That's pretty much what this guy's recommending. He's not saying like an exact monetary like title, but if it's based on like any kind of value in your EA, you will make that value of the player equate to something very high. So you wouldn't choose $20 for a meta player to be people's team till January. You're going to choose a high price, like $60 or more. And the thing is that this guy's thought process isn't necessarily like a singular thought process. The same stream, there was a guy who said he spent $20, 20 pounds of IRL money to finish off the last bits of the Darwin SBC. And it's like, do people not understand like doing things like that is exactly why the game is in the state that it's in? EA has no incentive to make the game better when their pockets are still stocking up with your money. They don't care that you're whining on Twitter, whining on threads, whining on videos, whining in streamer chats when they see their quarterly, financial report, and it's like, okay, the monies are getting higher and higher and higher. They're bitching, but they're still spending money. And people, when you hear things like this, people go, "What's your EA this, EA that?" It's like, it's you. It's not EA. You're the one spending the money. EA didn't tell you to spend 20 pounds to finish Darwin Núñez. EA didn't tell you to say the words, allow us to spend money on SBCs. That's the player speaking. Someone else in the chat said that he spent upwards of like $1,000 on FC25 during like one stretch. He said he was spending like $275 per his check. Like, so he has like his job, and his job pays him. He thinks he's like $5,000 every month or every few weeks, whatever it was. Then of that $5,000, he spends almost $300 on FC that week of the check. It's like, y'all say these things out loud, and I don't think it enters y'all head that that's why EA doesn't give a fuck, because you're giving them the money. So it's like, well, again, you're hoping that these corporations will have some kind of humility, but they don't need to. If you're a company, your job is to make money. Your job is to increase your profit margin as much as possible. If the players are still spending money while complaining, who cares that they're complaining? You want them to have more monetization in the game. That's what this is. When you say something like this, they should have a monetary option for SBCs. You're basically saying, I want there to be more monetary options in the game. I want more microtransactions. And then people might kind of comment, they try to like pass it off by going, but on the flip side, you have another option to where people who grind the game can also still achieve, the same thing. Like, you can't do that. You can't recommend more monetization and then pass it off by trying to be like, oh, but it should also be grindable. How about you just don't want more monetization in the game? How about you don't want the game to become more pay to win, because it's already pay to win. But you're asking for it to be even more pay to win. It's just nonsense. This community has to do better. This community has to be a lot better than this. You have to do better than this. You shouldn't want more monetization in the game. It's not a solution at all. Wanting more monetization is not a solution to make the game better. And this happened because Independence talk about how there's a lack of fodder, how there's no fodder in the game, and it's harder to do bigger SBCs because there's no fodder. And this guy's solution was to allow people to pay for an SBC. It's like, it's just the thing in people's heads. People living like in a weird bubble, because they have a disposable income that they don't care about, and they'll be okay with spending that money. Then they should just have it in there so they can do it. And it's like, you have to think about the entire masses of the group, not just yourself, and why this is bad. This is a bad thing to want. Like it just is. It's a terrible thing to want. And this isn't like necessarily just his problem in general. It's the entire community, because the entire community thinks this way. I said there's another guy in the chat who say he spends $300, every couple checks to put it into the game. There's another guy who say he spent £20 just to finish off Darwin Nunes' SVC. An SVC that's not even like that, like not even crazy. Let's pull up the Nunes SVC, so you can see like this is not even like an expensive SVC to begin with. Go Darwin's 5 squads. That's not a lot. 83, 84, 85, 85, 86. That is not a lot. That's not a lot of fodder. Like, honestly, the biggest price of this team is Team of the Weeks. That's not a lot of fodder. So someone said they spent £20 to finish this off. Not a lot of fodder. I'm pretty sure I spent more fodder on Rafinha, Morgan, and Haran than Darwin cost. I think we actually look at the value of those SBCs. I haven't spent a single dime in this game. I didn't spend any money on Rafinha, no money on Haran, no money on Morgan. Let's go to Footbin. I want to see like just value. So Darwin is valued at 250,000 compared to Haran's valued at 120. He does cost more than Haran. He doesn't cost anywhere near as freaking much with Ziala. Rafinha costs 37k. So like if that guy was doing freaking Rafinha, how much money would he spend on Rafinha? He spent 20 on Darwin, who's getting like 250, 230, between 230 and 250 when it comes to value. So for double that, more than double that for Rafinha. So we can find Morgan's value. Morgan was 314k. It's like, dude feel like he need to spend. You can say it's because of like the lack of fodder, but it's like I don't think fodder's hard to come by in a sense where it's not like readily available at a constant base, but it's not impossible to get fodder. Like I lack fodder right now. It's not because I can't get any. It's just because I don't play the game enough. Because again, I only play rivals, and that's pretty much it. Like yeah, I'll play Squids to get the 12 games done, and I'll play Rush as well. I don't play champs. Probably will start at some point, like maybe in December or January. Just not the time for it, but like, I'm not doing a lot of stuff to obtain fodder on a consistent basis, but I still have enough fodder to do Morgan. So I had enough fodder to get this throwaway card done that I did just for the fodder. That's another thing about it too. If you want to get fodder, you do things like this SBC so you can have that and use it as fodder. These cards like this don't cost anything. It's just a very cheap card. And in process, you get 85 that you can put into an SVC later. Also, when it comes to evos, you get free evos. You can put if you don't care about the evo, it's like okay, this evo's trash. I don't care about it. Put a card into it just to get the rating. You use that as fodder in these SVCs. That's a way better option than just giving EA money, which is what y'all keep doing. Y'all just keep giving EA money just because. And y'all complain about the fact that EA ignores all the issues in the game and just get ready to make the next game and put out more and more packs that involves, you know, you having to go buy FC points. You feed into why EA does what they do, because you spend money in the game. That's all EA cares about. They don't. EA makes more money off microtransactions post launch than they do off the base sale of the game. How do they get that money? You made the choice to spend money post launch on the game, so they don't care that you're upset. They don't care that you feel like they should do this or do that. They have your money and they know that you're going to spend your next check on them anyways. 2K has the same issue. People in 2K spend so much money on VC. They're still on last gen, on like Xbox Ones and PS4s, because they can't afford to get a Series X or a PS5. They can't afford to get Series X PS5 because they spend all their paycheck on VC. So they can make their My Career player for the park better. You know, they don't have a box spring. They have a mattress on the floor. They don't have a TV stand. They have the TV on the floor. They're using PS4 to play 2K on, because all the money that they get goes into VC. Now, imagine that's what some of y'all rooms look to when it comes to FC. Imagine there's probably a lot of y'all who, you know, don't have much going on in your room or your house in general. All your money's going into the game. But anyways, that's it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Catching out to the next one, your boy AnubisArchangel. See you guys, my dear. Deuces.